NEET 2025 is not what students expected. From tricky numericals to conceptual questions, this could decide hundreds of ranks this year. Welcome to Map My Tutor, I am Nimra. In this video, we will break down NEET physics questions word to word and I'll be explaining how you can prepare from today. Let's begin. Consider a water tank as shown in the figure. So we have a figure here in which it is showing a water tank. It has one wall at x is equals to L and can be taken to be very wide in the z direction. When filled with liquid of surface tension S and density rho, so they have given a surface tension and density, the liquid makes angle this much. Okay, so what they have to find? We have to find out the height. If y of x is the height, then you need to find out the relation. Now, if you see the options very carefully, it is in differential form. So, we also need answer in the differential form. Now, this you have studied in your NCERT. What does your NCERT tell? It tells about the capillary concept. What was the capillary concept? At equilibrium, the capillary concept was force per unit length due to your surface tension was equal to your hydrostatic pressure. This we all know from your capillary concept. Now, we will simply put the values. So, S rho square y by dou x square equal to hydrostatic pressure is rho g y. Rearranging this, dou square y by dou x square equal to rho g y by s. So, we have our answer, that is option B. Now, this question looks very tricky, but if you solve it with patience, it is very easy. Now, let's move ahead to next question. Try to read the question and get the answer before I try to get it. A microscope has an objective of focal length 2 centimeters. So, they have given you F0, FO, that is 2 centimeter. And they have given you eyepiece of focal length 4 centimeter. And the tube length is also given to you 40 centimeter. And the distinct vision B is 25 centimeter. Now, by seeing all this, and you should find the magnification. Now, there's a direct formula. Yes, and I hope you all guys remember those formula because it is very easy. Ray optics usually is very simple. It is directly formula based, like here. So, M equal to, this is a formula. It will be L by Fe into D by S naught. Now, let us substitute the values, that is 40 divided by 4 into 25 divided by 2. Solving this, 2 ones are, 2 twos are, then 4, 1, you will get 125 centimeter. So, which is the correct option? Option B is the correct answer. I hope you understood. It's a very direct formula based question. Right, moving ahead. Now, if we see this question, that third question, it is very lengthy yet very easy. Let's do it. An electron of mass and charge is given to us, moving with speed c by 100. So, speed is given to us, is injected into a magnetic field of this value and it's perpendicularly injected. We wish to apply an uniform electric field, very important, with magnetic field so that the electron does not deflect. Now, they have told you a very important thing, that is electron is not deflecting. When electron is not deflecting, that time we can tell your electric field QE, here it is electron, so EE equal to EVB, equal to magnetic field, Lorentz codes. Now, EE will get cancelled. So, E equal to speed is what? C by 100 into B. C is 3 into 10 to the power 8 upon 100 into, what is my B? B value is given to me 9 into 10 to the power minus 4. Now, when you calculate this, this comes out to be 27 into 10 to the power 2. So, what you do? You cancel your zeros and then you do 9 threes are. You will get 27 into 10 to the power 2. Now, as it is not deflecting, your electric field will go perpendicular towards the B. So, which is the correct option? Correct option is option B. So, I hope you understood. It looks very complicated, but it is very easy, very conceptual question. Again, very lengthy question. They have given you this question so that they can eat your time. But again, if we solve it smartly, it will take less time. Let's read it first. There are two inclined surfaces of same length. Okay, ma'am. So let's make two inclined surfaces of same length and inclined at 45 degree. Mind that length is same, equal length with horizontal. Okay. One of them is rough and the other is perfectly smooth. So let's take one is rough and one is smooth. A given body takes 2 times as much as time on the surface. Okay. So in rough surface, it is taking 2 times that of smooth surface. So this is also given to me. The coefficient of mu k between this is, you need to find out what is mu k. Now let us imagine that there is a block which is sliding. You all know the acceleration here of this block. So acceleration of smooth block will be g sine theta. Yes, by resolving your vectors, you can get this. Here rough will be smooth minus with the friction. So with the friction means mu k g cos theta. Theta we know 45 degree. Let's substitute that. So g by root 2. Here also you will get g by root 2 minus g by root 2 mu k. Can I take g by root 2 common? Yes, definitely. So g by root 2 will be 1 minus mu k. So this is my AR. But we need to find mu k here. We have still not solved it. We had acceleration. Now what are we going to do? We have time. And they both same length. So we know one formula from equation of motion, L equal to half a t square. As my length is same, can I equate these two? Definitely, ma'am, you can do it. So let's do it now for smooth and for rough. So half, I hope this is visible to you, half as ts square equal to half ar tr square. Half will definitely cancel. As is given as g by root 2. Ts square equal to ar is also given to me. G by root 2. 1 minus mu k tr. Now tr I can substitute 2 times of ts. So 4 ts square. We are almost done. G by root 2, g by root 2, ts. From here, I will get my mu k as 1 minus 1 by 4, which comes out to be 3 by 4. So, which is my correct answer? Okay, again, they have given in decimal, so this is 0.75. So, my correct answer comes out to be option D. Now, see, it's a big question to solve in just 1 minute. Again, if you're very sharp with your calculations, you can do it. Safe side in your 2026 paper, if you get such kind of question, keep it at the end. Don't do it initially because it's going to eat minimum 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, this is the easiest question among the entire 45 questions. The kinetic energy of two similar cars is given to you. Okay. On applying brakes, car A stops this much, car B stops this much. Okay. If FA and FB are the forces applied during the brakes, the ratio of them. Now we have all studied work energy theorem, right? In work energy theorem, kinetic energy can be equal to your work done. So can I tell work done is nothing but force into displacement? Can I take ratio of them? Yes, ma'am, definitely. WA by WB equal to FA by FB, which I need to find SA by SB, which is given to me. So WA is 100 upon 225 equal to FA by FB into SA is 1000 upon 1500. Now cancel. Yes. Do your math, you will get your answer to be FA by FB will be come out to be 2 by 3. Do we have an option? Yes. Option B is correct. Again, very simple, very easy. The current passing through this is. If you see the circuit carefully, first see the circuit, okay? In this circuit, you can see there is a sort of Wheatstone bridge happening in the middle. Yes? Let us see if it is actually a Wheatstone bridge or not. So 5 divided by 2.5 should be equal to 3 divided by 1.5 because this is the middle resistor, right? So 3 divided by 1.5. So what is it? Yes, so I'm getting 2. So which means it's a Wheatstone bridge and I can eliminate this particular resistor. When I eliminate this particular resistor, 5 and 3 will come in series. And 2.5 and 1.5 will come in series, but parallel with each other because we have a junction here. I hope that's clear. If it is not, rewind the video and see again. Okay? Now moving ahead. Let's do this. So you will have a circuit like this and still just doing this part. You will come back to the next part later. So 5 and 3 and you have 2.5 and 1.5. So this will be 8, this will be 4. So it will be 4 into 8 upon 4 plus 8. This will come out to be 32, 16, yes, 8 by 3. Now, that resistor 8 by 3 here is in series with this and this. Life is simple now. 8 by 3 plus 1.5 plus 5.5 plus 1 by 3. So how much you will get? Value as you will get 10 ohms. Exactly, we get 10 ohms. Okay, so R equivalent I got. But I need to find out current passing. So again, I know Ohm's law, V equal to I into R. So I is nothing but V by R. 5 by 10 equal to 0.5 ampere. So which is the correct option? Option B is correct. Now again, it's a very lengthy question, but they had just made this circuit to confuse you. As we all said, 2025 paper was not easy. It was a game changer, definitely because of such questions. Let's read it. A bob of heavy mass M is suspended by a light string of length L. Okay, string length is given. The bob is given a horizontal velocity V0 as shown in the figure. If the string gets slack at some point, okay, it is getting slack at this point P, making an angle theta. The ratio of the speed V of the bob is. Now, this question can be done by energy conservation. So let us try to put the energy conservation. Initially, we are at here. So we only have kinetic energy, we don't have potential energy. So kinetic energy is half m V0 square equal to, at this point you will have both kinetic energy and potential energy. So kinetic energy is half mv square. Potential energy is mgh. So we need to know the height from this point to this point. How am I going to do that? We can do it something like this. So I'm drawing the same diagram again for simplicity. This length I know is L. This is also L. So this will be L sine theta. So this is my point P. So it will be total L plus L sine theta. So M G L plus L sine theta. Now let us just simplify this. M we go, half I will multiply. So V squared plus 2G L plus L sine theta. Okay, ma'am. But I still need B. Correct? Because we need to find the ratio of B and B0. We need to find B. So let us keep this as it is in a box. And let me try to find B with the help of, we will find B with the help of something like this. Let me show you. So this, you know, at this point mg is downwards and this is the tension. There is centrifugal force which is acting in this direction. This is your theta which is given there already. So this becomes 90 minus theta. We can resolve it into these components, that is mg sine theta and mg cos theta. Now if you see very carefully, this is the one which is responsible for your centripetal force. So we will just equate it. M is squared by L equal to mg sine theta. M will get cancelled. So V square is nothing but GL sine theta. Now we are just going to substitute this into this. So V0 square will be equal to GL sine theta plus 2G L plus L sine theta. Taking common, we can take GL common. Yes, ma'am. GL if we take common, we will get 2 plus 3 sine theta is V0 square. Now we will take the ratio. V by V0 square will be, GL and GL will cancel out anyways. So sine theta by 2 plus 3 sine theta. So this is your final answer. Where is it? Okay, you will shift your root, that's it. And your answer will be option D. Again, I would still tell you, you do this question only if you have time. You do not do such lengthy question in exams, okay? The output of the given logic implementation is similar to the output of which? So which gate is this? This is NOR gate. This is NAND. And this is your AND gate. Yes, so we are familiar with this. Now I'm just going to write the equation for this. NOR is nothing but A plus B bar is with and NAND is A dot B bar. We'll make our truth table ABY 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Now put your values 0 0. So 0 0 1 0 0 1. So 1 will come here. 0 1 0 0 1 0. Same with this 1 1 0 1. So 0. So this is followed by and, no, not in and, or also not or, NAND or NOR. NAND also it won't be in NAND. So only left is NOR. So NOR is the correct option. So this circuit represents your NOR gate. Output represents NOR gate. Now let's move ahead to next question. The electric field in a plane is given by this. This is Ez. Ez is given to you as this. Then expression for the corresponding magnetic field is. Now electric field is given in Z direction. So definitely your magnetic field will be in X or Y. Now we have given you the phase. They have given us phase also. So this we know is resembling to Ks minus omega t. Here Kx would be minus phi, which means it's in X, negative X direction. So your magnetic field is definitely going to be By conceptually. This is how conceptually you will eliminate your options. So By means D or A. A or D is the correct answer. Now let's go with the amplitude. Only amplitude change is seen here. What is given to me? E naught is given to me as 60. B naught is what I need to find. I know B naught is E naught by C. 60 by 3 into 10 to the power 8, which will automatically come out to be 2 into 10 to the power minus 7. So your correct option is option X. See, this is a very easy question. You can do it conceptually as well. Read the question carefully. A ball of mass 0.5 kg is dropped from a height. So there is a boy, let's consider you are standing here and then you are dropping a ball down. So when you drop a ball down, the height is 40 meter. And when it touches here and rises above, it rises to a height of 10 meter. Obviously, it can't rise a lot. You need to find out impulse. Impulse is, I know, is given by change in momentum. Final momentum minus initial momentum. But now as the ball is rising back, mu will become negative. So entire thing will become positive. And hence velocity is against the gravity. Again that will be negative. Whole answer will be negative. But it will be plus because of mu. Now I take m common, which is v plus u. Now they have not given us v. I know v is under root GH. So with that I can find out. So m is nothing but half into under root of 2 into 9.8 into H1, that is 40 plus under root 2 into 9.8 into 10. So when you solve this, it's a long calculation. When you solve it, you will get 21 nanosecond. Do solve it. Do not leave it as it is. If you have any doubts in basic calculation, do let me know down in the comment section. I will surely reply it and clear all your doubts accordingly. Okay, it's a question where you have inductor and resistor. AB is a part of an electrical circuit. The potential is VA and VB. At the instant when current is 2A. Okay, current also they have given it. It is increasing at the rate of 1 ampere per second. So you need to find out VA minus VP. Here already I have 5 volts, so I can make my equation as V minus 5 equal to, for my inductor, L di by dt plus for my resistor IR. So L I know is 1, current is increasing by 1. plus current here is 2 into 2. And I have B and bowl plus 5. So this is 1, 4 plus, so total I get 10 volts. Very simple, very easy question, nothing much to do in this. It's like a free marks for you guys. A 2 ampere current is flowing through two different small circular copper coils having radius 1 and 2. So R1 is to R2 is given to you 1 is to 2. You need to find out magnetic moment. That is formula based. You know what is magnetic moment? N-I-A. What is A? Pi R square. N is same, number of turns is same, current is flowing is same. Pi is obviously constant value, only differs is R. So mu 1 by mu 2 is equal to R1 square by R2 square. R1 is given to me 1 is to 2, so I can write 1 is to 4, obviously squaring. So mu 1 by mu 2 is 1 is to 4. I hope there is an option. Yes, that is option A is correct answer. Direct question, nothing much to do again. This is also very easy question. So yes, read it guys. Before I do, you need to do this. In a certain camera, a combination of 4 similar thin convex lenses are arranged in contact. The power of the combination and the total magnification is. So, they are telling it is arranged axially, which means they are arranged something like this. Okay, and this is your camera. And it is arranged something like this. So, power, focal length we know, we will take 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 plus 1 by f3. Similarly, power will also become p1 plus p2 plus p3. As they all have the same power p, it will become 4p. Now for the magnification. So magnification will be the product of all the magnifications. So that will be m, as it is 4. Here also you can write down 4. It will be m to the power 4. So 4p and m4, which is the correct option? 4p and m4. Option C is correct. This looks very tricky, but if you know just one formula, you can solve this question. An oxygen cylinder of volume 30 liters. Let us convert first and write the given part. 30 liters, 10 to the power minus 3. Has moles, 18.20. After some oxygen is withdrawn from this cylinder, pressure drops to 11. So pressure is in atmospheric pressure. I want in Newton meter. So 11 plus 1 into 1.01 into 10 to the power minus 5 Newton meter square. So this will become 12 into 1.01 into 10 to the power minus 5. I'll keep it as it is. You will see it in the calculation part. At temperature 27 degree in your Kelvin is 300 kelvins. The mass of the oxygen is withdrawn from the cylinder is nearly equal to, you need to find out the mass of it. Molecular mass is given, R is given to you. And this is plus, okay, which is given to you again. So all these values will be given to you. So you need not by heart them, okay. Now, the formula which I was talking about is mass of the oxygen is equal to change in moles upon molecular weight. So change in moles can be written as N1 minus N2 and molecular weight. N1 I have, N2 is not there. So we need to find out N2. Ma'am, how we will get N2? We can get N2 by ideal gas equation. So I know what is my ideal gas equation? PV equal to nRT. P2V2 N2 RT. Okay. Take N2 one side and other side. So what I will get? Substitute your values, substitute all the values which you have, that is 12 into 1.01 into 10 to the power 5. Volume 30 into 10 to the power minus 3 upon R, which is given to me 100 upon 12, and temperature which I know 300. Children, solve this. Okay, don't skip it. Solve it. You will get your answer to be 14.5. Now nothing, you just need to substitute back in this. So when I substitute back in this, I am doing here m equal to 80.20, which is my N1, 14.5 into molecular mass, that is 32. When you do this, you will get your answer in grams. Convert it, you will get answer to be 0.116 kgs. So correct answer is option C. Again, very time consuming, but if you know one formula, it's easy. Yes, so in this question, in some appropriate units, time position is given to you as this, okay? So I have a relation x square plus x. I need to find out the acceleration. Double differentiation is the first thing that should click in your mind at this point. Let's do it. dt by dt equal to 2x dx by dt plus dx by dt. 1 equal to 2x plus 1, I took common, dx by dt. Keep your dx by dt one side because that is what we need to double differentiate. Now double differentiating this, what you will get? We will get minus 2 upon 2x plus 1 whole square, then differentiating x again, dx by dt. I know the value of dx by dt is this, so I am going to just substitute here. Minus 2 upon 2x plus 1 whole cube. Do we have an answer? Yes, we have option B is the correct answer. Read the question carefully. Again, it's very easy and you all can do it. The question is, to an AC power supply of 220 volts at 50 Hz, a resistor, a capacitor and an inductor are connected in series. So let us make the circuit first. I have a resistor, I have a capacitor, I have an inductor as well, and then I have my battery. Okay. Resistor is of 20 ohm, capacitance is 25 and my inductor is 45 ohms. With 220, you need to find out the current and the phase angle. So first we will find out the phase angle and then we will find out the current. Now if you see very carefully, the same question has been asked in KCET as well. So it's very important, even if you're preparing for NEET, you do KCET questions and a bit of JEE Mains questions as well, because questions repeat directly in your examinations. Now let's solve the question. To find the phase angle, we will do tan phi. Tan phi is nothing but XL minus XC upon R. So what is my XL value? XL value is 45 minus 25, which is 20. 20 divided by 20. I am writing directly. Please solve it. 1. From here, tan phi is 1 at 45 degree. Phi is 45. So you see, from here at least 2 options are eliminated. It cannot be option A or option C. Either it can be B or D. Now let us solve for your current. Current by ohms now we know B is equals to IZ. Z is impedance, which we need to find out now. So Z is equals to under root of, direct formula again, that is XL minus XC whole square plus R square. XL minus XC is 20. 20 plus 20, that will be 20 root 2. Substituting that here again, I equal to V by Z, 220 by 20 root 2. So that is 11 by root 2. 11 by root 2. Now children, trick to remember, you don't have to calculate small details here. Think about it. 11 by 12 cannot be 15.6. It's not possible because we are dividing 11. So the correct answer is option B. So that's how you save your time with solving correct answers. I hope it's clear. If you have doubts, do let me know in the comment section. Here is the 17th question, that is sun rotates around the center once in 27 days. What will be the period of revolution if the sun were to expand 2 times of its radius without any external force? Assume you have uniform density. Fine. Now when you see the question in first glance, you feel it is gravitation. But no. Children, it's not gravitation. It's definitely not gravitation. It is a question from rotational mechanics. And it is there to confuse you. That is the whole point of it. So in rotational mechanics, how do you put this? I know that my angular momentum will be constant. So putting your value of angular momentum constant means I omega is constant. So can I do I1 omega 1 equal to I2 omega 2? Yes, ma'am. Omega is nothing but 2 pi by t. So I am substituting that. T1 and T2. Remove T1. Here 2 pi, 2 pi. Now, I of sphere is 2 by 5 m R1 square upon T1 equal to 2 by 5 m R2 square upon T2. have they given us radius? Yeah, they told expand twice. So the second one is expanding twice initially. So 2 by 5, 2 by 5 first I will cancel, m and m is gone. So r1 square by 27 days, which is given to me. R2 is nothing but 2 times. So 4r1 square by t1, t2. So t2 is what I need to find out. Again, this is gone. So t2 is 27 times 4. So what is 27 times 4? My answer will be 108 x. Easy. The major motto of this question is to confuse you through your chapter. So first you will think it is gravitation, you will start solving gravitation. Later you won't find the answer and you will skip the question. But it is not from gravitation, it is from rotational mechanics. How did I get to know it is from rotational mechanics? Because it is written without any external force. A model for quantized motion of an electron in a uniform magnetic field B states passing through the orbit is this. Okay. And E is a magnitude. According to the model, the magnetic moment of the electron at the lowest state is. It's a pure derivative question. The same derivation you have in your NCERT, which they have asked in NEET. Yes. So it's conceptual again. Let's try to solve. I know phi equal to NH, phi equal to B dot A, which is nothing but NH by E. I also know M is IA, which is nothing but E by P. When I take the ratio of this, I'll get NH by EM. And I'm taking the ratio of this and this. So, BA upon ET by A. A will get cancelled, E will automatically get cancelled. So, NH by M will be equal to TB. From this, I can get M equal to NH by TB. T I am substituting as 2 pi by R by V. Velocity by your distance. As it is a circle. So 2 pi R B by B. But look at the options. Here are my options. My options are not in V. I don't have V here. And it is moving a circular path. So that first thing which comes to your mind is a circular motion. So again we will be putting that F is equals to mb square by R. Centripetal force. QBB equal to mb square by R. I know my Q is my electron, so I can directly substitute here. Cancel your V and get your V value as EB by M R. Substitute this value here again. You will get NH EB by 2 pi R MR. So your correct answer would come as, the correct answer would come as NHE by 2 pi M. That is option B. So option B is the correct answer. Alright, so it's a pure derivative question. Pure derivative question. Okay. There's nothing theory to be learned here. My advice to you is, if you haven't prepared derivation, you don't have to solve them. Leave it as it is. We will do at the end of the examination. Okay, moving ahead to next question. Here is your next question. 3 identical heating conducting rods are connected in series. Okay. The rods on the sides have thermal conductivity 2K. Okay, here. While in the middle is K and in the end is your 2K. The left end of the combination is maintained at the temperature 3T. And here it is mentioned T. So there is a temperature difference as well. The rods are thermally insulated from the outside. In steady state, the temperature at the left side junction T1 and the right side junction T2 is. So basically you need to find T1 is to T2. For this particular question, I will be just solving the conceptual part of it. The basic equation substitution you need to do at home. Alright. So what is the concept? We know a formula, H is equals to Ka delta T by L. Now, when I am going to teach you thermodynamics, I am going to focus more on this formula. Why? Because major questions are asked from this. Now, heat will be same in steady state. Heat will be same here also, here also, here also. Then only steady state can be attained. Now, substituting your value. Here I have 2K. So, 2Ka T. 3T minus T1. 3T minus T1 upon L equal to H2, which is K. So Ka T1 minus T2 upon L equal to Ka 2Ka T2 minus T upon L. Ka by L will cancel out everywhere. Then you will have three equations. You know exactly how to solve three equations. Solve them and you will get the answer as option C. Again, if you have any doubt in substitution method for equations, kindly let me know in the comment section. I will be available to reply all of them. Okay. Now let's move ahead to 20th question. Very important question, very famous question. It's asked almost every time, every question, every examination. Let's read it. The plates of parallel plate capacitor are separated by distance d. Two slabs of different dielectrics are introduced. Okay. Due to this, the capacitance becomes 2 times larger. What you need to find out? You need to find out the value. When there is nothing in between, what is the value of it? Okay. So let me explain the basic concept to you guys first. So when you have only the capacitors, what is the formula? Epsilon naught A by D. Now what they did? They introduced dielectric constant K1 and K2. This they told is at a distance, a thickness of 3 by 8b. And this is at a thickness of d by 2. So automatically here it will be d by 8. How ma'am? How did you get that? If you sum up all this, you will get 1. So that's how you will get d by 8 there. They have also told that new capacitance is twice the older one. Now we are going to find it out. Now as it is in series, okay, as they have kept in series, what is the effective capacitance? 1 by Ce equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. This is a basic formula which you all must know. Now we will substitute the value. For initially we have d by 2 epsilon naught A equal to, for 3D we have 3d by 8 epsilon naught A plus d for second one, that is d by 2 epsilon naught A K1 K2 as they have dielectrics plus the final one does not have any dielectrics of 8 epsilon naught A. Now I have K1 and K2 here. So obviously I cannot solve. But relation is given to be K1 equal to 1.25 K2. So I'm going to just substitute that here and cancel out whatever I can. D by epsilon naught A will go in all the equations. Yes, ma'am. So 1 by 2 equal to 3 by 8 K1 plus, if I convert this into my decimal, it's a decimal, so if I convert it into fractional, I will get 5 by 8 K2 plus 1 by 8. Yes. Now solve this again. 1 by 2 minus 1 by 8 equal to 3 by 8 K1 plus 5 by 8 K2. So K1, K2. Here this is also K1. This is also K1 as we substituted it. So K1 value will come out to be somewhere around, this will be 5, 1, 16. So it will come out to be 2.66, correct. So option A is the right answer in this. Let's read the question first. Two cities X and Y are connected by a regular bus service. Okay, so there is X and Y which is connected with a bus service, with a bus leaving either in T time. Okay, so what does this mean? There is a bus here which leaves, and when it reaches here, after T minutes, one more bus starts. Same that side also. A bus starts from here. When it reaches here, in T minutes, one more bus starts. Okay, ma'am. Next, a girl is driving a scooty with a speed of 60 km per hour in X to Y direction. So, there is a scooty. So, excuse my drawing. 60 km per hour. Okay. Now, yes, notices that the bus goes past her every 30 minutes in the direction of her motion. So, here after every 30 minutes, the bus is moving. And from that side, every 10 minutes. Okay. So, this is the decode of the entire question. Choose a correct option. Okay, you need to tell about time and speed. Now, generally speaking, this question will take you nicely 2 minutes to read and decode it. Okay, even it took 2 minutes for us if you check back. Now, how to solve it? See, I'll tell you a very basic way of solving it. When your scooty is moving in this direction, whatever speeds will come from the opposite direction will always get added, and whatever comes from the same direction gets subtracted. That is the only concept there. Now putting it into the equations. Velocity of bus into time t, VB, I'm doing from that for that side, so plus 60 into 10 minutes. It takes 10 minutes. Similarly, for this side also we can do VB into t equal to VB minus 60 into 30 minutes. Now I want you guys to solve the right hand side. You will get VB as 120 km per hour. Substitute this value back into the first equation, you will get your time as 15 minutes. Now guys, I'm not doing the substitution method because it's very easy. And I hope being a NEET aspirant, you need to learn how to substitute a equation properly. If you don't know, go back to your basics of maybe 8th, 9th, 10th and learn them and come back. Okay. So option D is correct. And still if you have doubt, feel free to comment it. So this question is very numerical, but if you get it right, it's a free mark. A uniform rod of mass 20 kg and length 5 meter leans against a smooth vertical wall. If there's a wall here and your rod is resting something like this. Angle is also given, I think, making an angle 60 degree. Yes. The length of it is 5 meter. Okay, ma. Okay. Rough horizontal surface, which means there's friction also. Okay. The frictional force that exerts it. Okay, you need to find the frictional force itself. Alright, ma. So now let us first break it down. Let me show you the components. You will have normal of this wall. So I'll write normal of wall. Then I will have normal of the floor as well. So I'll write normal of floor here. Then I will have mg downwards. So we will have mg also downwards. Any other force? Check it out. No. This is 90 degree. So this will be obviously 30 degrees. Anything else that we have to find out in this? No. So only this much decode you can do, this much breakdown you can do. Now moving to the calculation part. Right hand side will be equal to the left hand side. So NW should be equal to your friction, and NF, that is normal of floor, should be equal to your mg. Okay. Now, as this rod is in equilibrium, your anti-clockwise rotation and clockwise rotation will be always same, will be equal, because it is at rest, it is not moving, it's in equilibrium. So I can write my anti-clockwise torque will be equal to clockwise torque. That is nothing but F NW into 5 into sine 30 degrees equal to mg into 5 by 2 into sine 60. Now it is very simple, you just need to solve it. F equal to mg. Mg is given as, substitute your values quick. So mg is given as 20. Yes, 20 into 10 into 5 by 2 into 3 by 2 upon 5 into, so solve this, you will get your answer to be 100 root 3. That is option B is correct. I hope it's clear. Moving ahead to next question. Direct conceptual question. Okay, it is directly there in your NCERT. Same picture, same graph. The question is, in an oscillating spring mass system, a spring is connected to a box filled with a sand. Okay. As the box oscillates, the sand leaks slowly out of the box vertically, so that the average frequency omega t and average amplitude of the system changes with time, something like this. Which of the following options systematically depicts the changes correctly? Option A cannot be the option because your amplitude is straight. Option C also no. Option D also no. Option D is the right answer, which is mentioned in your NCERT. Yes, direct question, direct formula based question mentioned in your NCERT as well. So read your NCERT carefully. Now there's a trick for this question which I'm going to tell you. Okay, and it's a very important trick. So listen carefully. A balloon is made up of a material of surface tension S. S is the surface tension, and its inflation outlet has the small area A. The hole has the area A basically. It is filled with a gas of density rho and radius r. When the gas is allowed to flow freely outside, its radius changes from r to r to 0 in time t. If the speed v of r of the gas is coming out, you need to tell this is the relation. You need to tell alpha, beta and gamma value. This is a question directly from units and dimension, and hence it's very important you study that chapter. Usually students leave that chapter because thinking it's not of that much weightage, but it gives weightage. You have particular questions coming out of those chapter. So let us figure out now this. T is directly proportional to S alpha, A beta, rho gamma, R delta. Okay. So this will be, I'm writing in dimensional formula, M0 L0 T is directly proportional to surface area is M by T square, alpha, area is L square, beta, rho is density, that is mass by volume, LQ, rho, and R is simply L, delta. First we will calculate for M. So if you are calculating for M, M is here 0. So 0 is equal to alpha, no M here, plus gamma. So gamma is simply minus of alpha. Now go and see in your options. Where is gamma equal to minus of alpha? If you figure out and if you are lucky enough, that is the option. See, here A, okay, here alpha is half, gamma is plus, no, minus, minus, no, minus, plus, yes, plus, plus 2. So option C is correct. We got the answer finally. Now see, these are the small tricks and smart ways of getting the answer quickly so that it can save your time. So you need to keep in mind. Now for example, you can ask me, man, what if I don't have like this? Then beta, you need to solve beta, gamma and delta. You can't do anything. How will you solve it? Same. You need to equate it, put it back, substitution method. So that is it with this question. Very simple, very direct. It has been asked in your previous years as well. Yes, what is the question? Read. Okay, it's from your units and dimensions again. Consider the diameter of a spherical object being measured with the help of a vernier caliper. Suppose 10 BCD are equal to 9 mean square division and least count is 0.1 and 0, okay? And you have an error there. Okay. So, we need to find out the total reading. We have direct formula MSR plus LC into VC plus F. Now students, half of your problems from vernier caliber, only one formula is there in vernier caliber, which is this. And many problems can be solved from this. So it's important that you learn one formula which can be used in multiple questions. Alright, now let us try to put your values. MSR is 5, which is given to me, plus least count is 0.1, 10 divisions into 8. Error is positive error. So when it is a positive, because it is closed, so it is positive error. So when it is positive errors, we will take minus 0.1. So totally it will come as 5 plus 0.08 minus 0.1, which will come out to be 4.98 centimeter. Is it? Is there an option? Yes, definitely. Option C is correct. See, again, very simple. Just by one formula, you could solve an entire question. Moving ahead. 26th question. Again, direct conceptual. Let's try to do it in less than 10 seconds. A parallel plate capacitor is made up of circular plates. Is being charged such that the surface charge density on the plates are increasing at constant rate. The magnetic field arising due to displacement is 0 at all plates? No. Constant between the plates and 0 outside the plates? No. 0 between the plates and non-zero outside? Definitely no. So option C is correct because non-zero everywhere with maximum at the imaginary cylinder spaces connecting peripheral. Okay. So option C is the right one. It's a direct question. Nothing to do much. Moving ahead to next question. That is 27. Read the question carefully. Again, it's very simple. Very conceptual based in fact. And unpolarized light beam traveling in an air is incident on a medium of refractive index 1.73. At Brewster's angle is. So what is Brewster? What did Brewster tell? He told that if there is a reflecting surface and an incidental light, few of them gets refracted and reflected. So the one which is reflected is completely polarized. The one which is refracted is partially polarized. And I know this is the angle IB. We know Brewster's angle also told tan IB is mu. Mu is given to be 1.73 there in the question, which is close to root 3. So when is root 3? Root 3 is at 60 degrees. So IB turns out to be 60 degree. If IB is 60 degree, IR is also 60 degree. Now let's see the options. Reflected light is completely polarized. Yes. And at an angle 60 degree. Correct, definitely. Reflected light is partially polarized and the angle between the reflection is 30. No. Both reflected and transmitted light are perfectly polarized. No. Transmitted light is completely polarized with an angle of refraction close to 30. No. So option A is the right answer. Again, very simple, very easy questions. Direct concept formula based. Let's read the question. It is from electrostatic, which is one of my favorite chapters. Two identical charge conducting spheres A and B have their center separated by a distance d. Okay. Charge on each sphere is q, which is repulsion. So we have two charges q and q at a distance d. So we know that force will be kq by r square. Now let's read the, or d square, d square. A third identical uncharged conducting sphere is brought in contact with A. So when I take a charged sphere and bring it in contact with this, it will have half charge q by 2. Then first with A, then they have brought in contact with B also. If I take the same charge, I'll take it out, it has q2, I'll give it to that. It will be what? It will be q minus q2 by 2. So that is nothing but 3q by 4. So this charge will be 3q by 4 at a distance again same d. So we need to find the relation, right? Yeah, we need to find the relation between that. Now here F will be k q by 2 into 3q by 4 upon d square. So k q square by d square is F, which is left is 3 by 8, so 3 by 8. So do we have an option? 3F by 8. Yes, option D is the right answer. Very easy. Yes, very fun to do this type of questions. A container has two chambers, volumes 2 liter and 3 liter, separated by a partition. Okay, the chambers have N1 and N1 as 5, N2 as 4 moles. Pressures are also given. When the partition is removed, you need to tell what is the equilibrium pressure. Oh, first we will find the total volume. Total volume is V1 plus V2. That is 2 plus 3, which will give me 5 liters. Total moles also we will do. Because when I remove my partition, my volume and moles will get added up. That's why I am adding now itself. N1 plus N2 is 5 plus 4. So that is 9 moles. Now let's come to our ideal gas equation, that is PV by RT will be equal to P1V1 by RT plus P2V2 by RT. As it is maintaining at the same temperatures, we will remove R and T. We will be left with PV equal to P1 plus V1 plus P2V2. So P will be equal to P1V1 plus P2V2 upon V. Now let us solve this. Pressures are given to you. Yes, ma'am. 1 into 2 plus 2 into 3 upon total volume is 5. Do this. You will get your answer. So that is 2 plus 6. 6, 7, 8. 8 by 5. 8 by 5 is 1.6. So 1.68 km is the right answer. Easy, simple. Just in 2 steps you can do it. Read the question carefully. Again, this is very simple. It looks tough. It is simple. A particle of mass m is moving around the origin with a constant force F, pulling it towards the origin. If the Bohr model is used to describe its motion, the radius of the nth orbit will be, you tell the relation. So, first of all, I know my, it is moving in centripetal force, right? So, F is equals to mv square by r. Okay, this I know. And I also know that Bohr gave me angular momentum, that is L equal to mvr, which is nothing but nh by 2 pi. So here I can get V value, that is nh by 2 pi mr. I will substitute this back into this. So what I will get? F equal to m by r n square h square 4 pi square m square r square. Be very careful with whatever powers you are doing here, because the Answer is in powers. That's why. Now I will try to calculate r cube is equal to 8 r cube this side, put f that side. M will anyways go. N square x square upon 4 pi square. M gets cancelled, so M. Now all the values are constant except N. So we get from here R is directly proportional to N to the power 2 by 3. See your options. See, you have only one option, that is option C. So we know that option C is correct. But let me show you how you will calculate V also. So you will take this and put back into this. So I know V is that proportional to N by R. V is directly proportional to N by N to the power 2 by 3. Put it up, 1 minus 2 by 3 will give you 1 by 3. So option C is correct. Most of the time you will get the answer by just doing one step. But for your understanding, I did the next step as well. Read the question, it's from gravitation chapter. The radius of Martian orbit around the sun is about 4 times the radius of the Mercury. So Rm is 4 times Rme. N is Mercury. And time taken by Me is 687 Earth days. Then which of the following is the length of 1 year of Mercury? Okay. How we will do it? We know Kepler's third law. What does Kepler's third law tell me? T square is directly proportional to R cube. So T square equal to KR cube. Okay, ma'am. Now put this back into this. You will get TME square by TM square equal to RME cube upon RM cube. Now let's substitute the values. TME is given to me 687 whole square. Oh, hold on. We will substitute that side first. So for simplicity, nothing else. Okay. What is given to me? ME is 1 by 4. So RM by 4 RM whole cube. This will get cancelled. So I get 1 by 64 into TME square by TM. So what I need to calculate? I need to calculate TME by Mercury is. So Mercury will be TM equal to 687 upon 8. Doing all the math, you will get your answer to be 86. Do your math. If you have any doubt, do let me know. Again, question from gravitation. See, we saw nearly 3 questions from gravitation and they are direct formula based. So it is very important you do not skip this chapter whatsoever happens. Do not skip the chapter. Now let's see the questions. A body weighs 48 Newton on the surface. Okay. On the surface it is 48 Newton. What is the formula? We know the formula GMM by R square. The gravitational force experienced by the body due to the Earth's height is equal to 1/3 of the radius. Okay. So you need to find out WH. What is WH? WH is given to be GMM by R plus H. Now what I will do? H is given to me R by 3. H is R by 3. Now just take your ratio. So this will be R square upon this. G and M will get cancelled. That's why I'm not writing it. So R square upon R plus H is R by 3. So R by 3 whole square. Take LCM below 3, 4. So 4R square by 4R square. So I'll square it here itself. So R square upon 4. So 16R square upon 9. So R square again will go. This side I have 48 upon WH. Let's bring everything to one side. WH equal to 48 into 16 upon 9. So this will come out to be your answer as 27 Newton. This formula you have done derivations on this formula and everything. So do not forget the formula, apply the formula and try to get the answer. So guys, I'm solving the questions, I'm doing everything here. But what you have to do is, for your better improvement, pause the video and try to solve it by yourself first. And then come back and reflect onto the video. Don't blindly copy it down because that's not going to help you or me in any ways. pause the video, solve it, and then check it that if you got the video correct or if you got the answer correct or not. It's a question from current electricity. A wire of resistance R is cut into 8 equal pieces. From these pieces, 2 equivalent resistance are made by adding 4 together. Then these two sets adding, the net effective resistor will be. Okay. So now see, this is a direct question, so remember the answer always, that is R by 16. But I'll show you how to even find it out. Okay. How you will do it? So 1 by R dash will be 1 by R. Rp will be 1 by R plus 1 by R dash plus 1 by R dash. I'm taking 2 sets. So this is the first set. So this is nothing but Rp equal to R dash by 4. So like this I have one more set. 8 pieces, no? So R dash by 30. This is for one set, one piece. For 2 pieces I will do multiply. So Rp equal to 2 times of R dash by 32. That is R dash of 60. See, this is a standard question. Either you remember the way how to do it or remember the formula. Option C is correct. De Broglie wavelength of an electron orbiting in N2 state of hydrogen atom is close to. Again, you have a formula for this, that is lambda equal to 2 pi r of second state into N2. So you can just put your value. 2 pi r is given, yes. 52, 0.052, N2 is 2. Solve this, you will get around 67 U nanometer. Option D is correct. Do your math, guys. I'm not doing here because I trust you guys that you will do by yourself. Alright. Again, see, many questions are direct based formula. There are few questions, I agree, maybe out of 45, maybe there are 10 questions which are a little trickier, a little lengthy. But rest all of them are very easy. And we expect 2026 paper also to be the same way. It's not going to change. Don't expect it to be very easy or very difficult. It will be of the same level. So it's important that you start preparing for your JEE main question, CT question and NEET question, all three together. Irrespective of your writing CT 2026 or NEET or JEE main. Now come back to 35th question. An electric dipole with dipole moment 5 into, so dipole moment is given to you, P is given to you. Aligned with the direction of uniform electric field, B is also given to me. Oh, E, electric field. Oh. E is given to me, 4 into 10 to the power 5. The dipole is then rotated through an angle 60 degree, or theta is also given. The change in the potential energy case. Okay. 60 degree, then rotated, aligned in the, okay, fine. So first you will find U1, that is minus P cos theta, minus 5 into 10 to the power minus 6 into 4 into 10 to the power 5 cos theta. Now initially it is aligned. So theta is 0, that is 1. So your answer will be minus 2.2 joule. In second one it is rotated by 60 degree. So same you will get this one. 5 into 10 to the power minus 6 into 4 into 10 to the power 5 into half. So this will come out to be minus 1.0 joules. For change, we will do delta U, that is U2 minus U1 minus 1 minus of minus 2. Don't get confused with the signs here. Be very careful. So you will get 1 joule. So the correct answer is option B. Now you are lucky that they have not given you minus 1. If they gave you minus 1, you would have ticked that and come. That's why be very careful. This is actually a JEE main previous year question which has been asked in your NEET. It was asked in JEE main somewhere around 2022. And they repeated the question but just changed the numbers. Let's read the question. A constant voltage of 50 volts is maintained between the points A and B. The current through the branch CD is. Now guys, see the circuit very carefully. In the circuit you can see this is C and this is point B. If I merge this point, my 3 and 1 will go in parallel, 2 and 4 will go in parallel. So let us draw that first. Ma'am, 1 and 3 will go in parallel, 2 and 4 will go in parallel. And I have my voltages, 50 volts, First, let us find out the total resistor, total current. Then we will find out how much current is passing in this junction. Okay, that is the approach what we do in this type of questions. Let us find out the resistors first. R equivalent will be, see these two are in parallel but series with each other. So 1 into 3 upon 1 plus 3 into a plus 2 into 4 upon 4 plus 2. So that is nothing but 3 by 4 plus 4 2s are 8, 6. So this will be turn out to be 25 by 12. R equivalent will come out to be 25 by 12. Do V equal to IR? V is 50. R is 25 by 12 by I. So it will come out to be 24 ampere is my total current. So what does this mean? From here I have 24 ampere going. Now, so from here the current starts to move. The total is 4 parts, basically 4. In the upper region, 3 parts of those 4 current will go, and from lower region similarly. So we need to find out the current flowing through 1. How much current will flow basically? The current is 3 into 24 upon 4. So that will give me the value as 80, 6 times 18. 18 ampere is 4. Similarly, through third one, it will be 8. You can just subtract it simply. Yes, 80. Similarly, 2, for 2 you will have 16. For 2 and 4 you will have 16 and 6. 6 ampere here. Yes, 16. So you will get total as you have to see the difference here and the difference here is just 2 amps. So where the 2 amps is going? In charging this junction. So the answer will be option B. Yes. So this is, I agree, this is a JEE Mains problem which they have asked in NEET. So you would need to practice JEE Main PYQ as well. It is practiced for last 3 years or 2 years. That is enough. Okay. 37th question, that is a photon and an electron having the same energy E. The ratio of lambda of photon to lambda of electron is. So which formula we will use? We will use lambda equal to h by p. So lambda p equal to h by proton. Yes, for photon, that is h by E by C. So that is hc by E. Similarly, we will do for electron also. So h by p of E. So that is h by under root 2me. Now we will take the reciprocal of this, ratio of this. So that will be h by hc by E into h by under root 2me. Cancel h, you will get under root 2m. So the correct option is option C. Yes, so this is a direct question. That is graph question which is there from your semiconductor chapter. Which of the following options represent the variation of photoelectric current with property of light on x-axis? In this, it is written intensity of light increases, photocurrent increases. Yes, if I increase my intensity of light, my photons are increasing, which means my device will get more charged and give more photoelectric current. Option A is correct. Option B is not correct. Option C is also not correct. Option D is also not correct because frequency does not depend. So only option A is the correct one. Frequency has no relation with your intensity. So only option A is correct. Yes, so in this question, a sphere of radius r is cut into larger solid of 2r and smaller solid. So you need to find out the ratio of them. So you need to find out I of small and I of remaining part. So how we will do? First we know V equal to 4 by 3 or rho equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. So we know this. So from here you will get your answer, that is I of this I of remaining will be your inertia and then your masses. So that will be 2 by 5 mr square plus 2 by 5 mr square and divided by, you do your remaining part and then you will get your answer to be as option C. So it's a direct question, solve it and get it. It's a diode based question. A full wave rectifier circuit with diodes D1 and D2 is shown. This is the supply current. Okay. So you did which is forward biased and reverse biased. So it's a full wave rectifier. We know in full wave rectifier, this is forward bias and this is reverse bias. We have studied the mechanism. So which option is correct? D1 is forward, D2 is reversed. Option A is correct. So you need to know the mechanism of full wave rectifier, half wave rectifier as well to do this question. So this question is from your thermodynamics chapter. Very easy, very simple. We will try to do it. Two gases A and B are filled at the same pressure in separate cylinders with a movable piston of radius RA and RB. Okay. On supplying equal amount of heat to both the system under constant pressure. Pressure is same. The pistons of gas A and B are displayed at 16 and 9 centimeter. RA and RB is. Now there is no internal energy. So if internal energy is not there, your heat is same. So when your heat is same, we know first law of thermodynamics. Del Q equal to del U plus del W. This is same, this will be same. So your work done should be equal. What is work done? Work done is PV. So I'm going to put that PA, volume with the pi RA square HA square. Equal to same for B also. Cancel. As it is constant pressure, P will get cancelled, pi will get cancelled. RA square is what I need to find, and it moves with 16. And RB is square is 9. So RA by RB will be 4 by 3 or 3 by 4. So it will be 9 by 16 root, which will be 3 by. Which option? Option is the correct answer. Okay. Again from units and dimension, a physical quantity of P is related to 4 observation A, B, C, D. As such, the percentage error is so and so. The percentage error in P. So how will you do this? P equal to A cube B2 upon C root T. First you will write the percentage error of it. Del P by P into 100 equal to X del A by A plus Y del B by B plus Z del C by C plus W by B into 100. Now simple. Put your values, get your answer. So when you put your values and get your answer, it will come out to be 13%. Now this is very simple. Put those values into this. You will get your answer as 13%. If you didn't get, do let me know in the comment section again. Okay, I will be responding to all your comments. The intensity of transmitted light when polarized sheet is placed between two crossed polaroids is this much. From the polarization axis of one of the polaroid. Yes. Okay. We know the formula for this. There is a direct formula, that is I naught equal to I cos square 22.5. Now, phi is nothing but 90 minus this value. So that will come out to be 67.5. So your next I will be cos square, this is also I know, cos square 22.5 and cos square for this. So your answer will come out to be, do your mathematics, put your trigonometric ratio, you will get your answer divided by the 8. Is there an option? Yes, option C. Two identical point masses P and Q are suspended from a separate massless train with constants this much. If their maximum speeds are at the same ratio, then you should tell the amplitudes. First, tell me the formula. If you know the formula, it's good to go. We need to find out AQ by AP. Yes, and I know my V is equal to A omega, which is nothing but A under root of K by M. V will be equal. So I can equate this also. So when I equate this, I will get AP under root of K1 by M. Mass won't change. AQ under root of K2 by M. Put your ratio. It will come out to be K1 by K2. Option D. Last question for the day. Again, very easy question, very direct question. A pipe open at both the ends has fundamental frequency F. The pipe is now dipped vertically in water drum of half of its length. The fundamental frequency is. Now guys, frequency does not change if you substitute, if you put it in different mediums as well. So initially it was F, finally also it will be F. So the correct answer is option B. It's a highly conceptual question. Children do a lot of mistake in this. So it is very important that you learn conceptually. It is very important you practice more, do JEE mains problem, KCET problem. So that's it. We finished all 45 questions. We finished NEET PYQ discussion. I hope and I advise you, I'm telling you to practice more, be consistent, do a lot of problems. And that's it for today. If you have any doubts, do let me know in the comment section. Do like, share, subscribe if you even felt the video was a little bit helpful. Thank you so much. See you in next class.